What if I told you there was once a man who never died? A man who lived in such intimate communion with God that he was taken, vanished from this world without a trace. Not a myth, not a metaphor, but a real human being whose story is tucked away in a few short verses, largely ignored by modern Christianity, yet whose legacy may hold keys to heaven, judgment, angels, and the very secrets of the end times. His name is Enoch, and his story begins in the forgotten pages of Genesis. In a time before the flood, before Moses, before the law, even before Abraham, Enoch lived in a world spiraling into wickedness. He was the great-grandfather of Noah, seventh from Adam in the lineage of Seth. The world was wild then, untamed, primal, overflowing with rebellion and spiritual corruption. It was a time when humanity's innocence was fast slipping away, and evil crept deeper into every crevice of society. Yet in this turbulent world, there walked a man who walked with God. Genesis 5:24 says it plainly and powerfully. Enoch walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him. That's it. One line. No fiery chariots, no dramatic deaths, just he was no more. And the silence is deafening. But what does it mean to walk with God? This phrase, repeated in Scripture, isn't about casual belief or fleeting devotion. It speaks of a lifestyle so aligned with the divine that heaven itself responds. Enoch didn't simply follow God. He communed with him, day by day, thought by thought, breath by breath. Imagine a relationship so close, so unbreakable, that it breaks the rules of mortality. And because of this holy intimacy, he was spared death, the first man in history to bypass the grave. It's as though Enoch's body and spirit were simply lifted from one realm to the next, a living transference, a holy promotion, as if earth could no longer contain him and heaven could wait no longer. But the mystery doesn't end there. Centuries later, in the New Testament, the book of Hebrews calls Enoch a man of faith. It says, "By faith Enoch was taken from this life, so that he did not experience death." Jude, the brother of Jesus, takes it further. He quotes a prophecy from Enoch himself. Yes, Enoch was not just a righteous man, but a prophet, a seer who warned of coming judgment. He spoke of the Lord returning with thousands of his holy ones to execute justice on the ungodly. And this prophecy, Jude says, was known from ancient times. But where did Jude get that prophecy? It's not found in Genesis. It comes from an ancient text known as the Book of Enoch, an extra-biblical writing cherished by early Christians and quoted in the Epistle of Jude. In this book, we find an entirely new dimension to Enoch's story, a story of fallen angels, heavenly visions, divine secrets, and cosmic battles. According to the Book of Enoch, Enoch was shown the workings of the heavens. He saw the storehouses of the stars, the courses of the moon, the weight of the winds, and the gates of hell. He was taken on a heavenly journey through dimensions unseen by mortal eyes and entrusted with knowledge meant for the righteous. He was, in essence, a scribe of divine mysteries. Enoch is depicted writing down everything he sees, instructed by angels to preserve these heavenly revelations for future generations. The book describes the fall of the Watchers, angels who descended to earth, took human wives and gave birth to the Nephilim, giants who brought violence and corruption. It was Enoch who interceded on behalf of these angels when judgment loomed. It was Enoch who delivered their sentence. He was not just a prophet, he was a judge, a voice between heaven and earth. His role was more than passive observer. He was a divine agent, entrusted with sacred authority. But this narrative, rich with supernatural depth, is curiously left out of modern preaching. Why? Early church fathers like Tertullian and Irenaeus embraced the Book of Enoch. It was revered by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and cited by early Christians. Yet over time, The Western Church excluded it from the canon, perhaps for its radical depictions of angels and apocalyptic themes, perhaps because it unveiled a spiritual reality too uncomfortable, too powerful, or too otherworldly for structured doctrine. And so, Enoch faded into mystery. His name became a whisper, yet the echoes of his story linger. In the New Testament, his example is upheld as a model of unwavering faith. In Revelation, the two witnesses, mysterious prophets who appear during the end times, are believed by some to include Enoch. Why? Because Hebrews says, "It is appointed for man to die once," and Enoch never died. Could it be that he will return? Imagine a man who has walked with God for thousands of years, preserved in glory, waiting to fulfill a final mission on earth. A man who saw the beginning and may witness the end. A figure not bound by time or decay, ready to stand once more on the stage of history when the world needs him most. But what does Enoch's story mean for us? It tells us that closeness with God isn't a fantasy, it's a possibility, that God sees, rewards, and even spares those who walk with Him in faith and truth, that even in the darkest eras, holiness can shine. It tells us that heaven is not distant, it is near, that visions, revelations, and divine purpose are not reserved for the elite, but for the faithful, that God is not silent, and those who seek Him with pure hearts can hear, see, and understand things far beyond this world. And it challenges us. Are we walking with God? Are we listening for His voice? Are we ready to be taken, if not physically, then spiritually, into deeper realms of relationship with Him? Enoch's life was a whisper, but its impact echoes through eternity. His faith broke the natural order. His obedience bridged dimensions. His legacy reminds us that to walk with God is not only to live, but to live beyond. To live as one already seated in heavenly places. To live in such a way that earth cannot contain you. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. Thank you for joining us on this deep journey into the story of Enoch. If this video stirred your spirit or revealed new truths to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who hungers for revelation. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more hidden Bible stories and forgotten truths that can transform your walk with God. Let us know in the comments, what stood out to you most about Enoch's story? Have you ever felt called to walk more closely with God? Until next time, keep seeking, keep walking, and never stop chasing the mysteries of faith. God bless you.